English journalist Chit was. Thanks to Victorol, I don't have to elaborate. And her help. So I'd rather talk about some of our memorable and light moments together. That is with the permission of Roland. So Roland, take note. In college, I had the chance to witness Roland and Chit spend the night together. But before you jump to conclusions, I was there with Roland and Chit and four other classmates. It was a birthday party actually. And we spent, after having dinner, we spent the night on a rooftop in one house in Tondo. We spent the night gazing at the stars. So, may romantic side yang si Chit. She might appear reserved, prim and proper, but listen further. Also in college, I used to go with Chit and the rest of the barcadas to the University Belt, Claro and Recto for the usual lightning rallies. But the most memorable was the first big multi-sectoral rally held on San Marcelino Street, just outside the then St. Teresa's College. Since a dispersal team arrived and we were ordered to disperse immediately, but we refused. So one of the leaders said, pag ang mga babaeng reliyista nasa harapan, hindi tayo di-disperse. So, sige, kayo mga babae, sa harap. Yung first line were nuns, second line, mga urban poor representatives, third line, kami, student sector reps. Tapos yung mga boys nasa likod. Tinotohanan, hindi, nung deadline na, they trained their water cannons at us and we were dispersed. And as expected, kami mga babae ang nahuli. Mga guys nakatalon dun sa over the bakod. There was this concrete wall, so nakatalon na sila. Anyway, the nuns negotiated and after a few minutes we were released. By the way, before I forget, si Chit, kakapit bisig ko noon, sabi kasi nung leader, kapit bisig na, walang iwanan, walang tatakbo. Upo tayo, kapit bisig. Pero nung tumalsik na kami, tinamaan kami ng water cannon, takbo na! So nagtakbuhan na. Anyway, pagkatapos ng commotion, kami ni Chit, nakita kami yung mga, kasama ng mga madring na huli. Pero pinakawalan. Then came Tempo. Tempo was supposed to be, it actually started as a political tabloid, a hard-hitting political tabloid. So, si Chit came from Evening Post, ako naman from the Daily Express. Nag-uusap kami, sabi namin, Ika, lipat tayo. Doon ata tayo makakasulat ng gusto natin isulat eh. Sige, press freedom issue. So, at saka mga barkada natin nandun. Maraming mga taga-UP ron. Tsaka mga bata, lahat. So, we joined Tempo. And sure enough, hindi naman kami na, for the first few months, actually mga 9 months, hindi pa umabot ng 1 year eh, pinagbigyan kami to write what we want to. Sabi ni Reka, sige, banatan niyo sila lahat, ang mga naabusado, mga corrupt, sige, banatan niyo ng banatan. Yan, sabi ni Reka, so banat naman kami ng banat, okay. And then, nung 6th month namin, when we became regular employees, automatically, naging union members na kami. Inaantay lang pala kami ni the late Tony Nieva na maging regular employees bago mag-strike. So, nung nag-strike, join na naman kami, mga tempo staff, yan yung mga bata. Join. Okay, assignment nyo, doon kayo sa gate, the main gate, going to, the entrance of the, parking area, the main parking area. Eh, syempre, doon lahat pumupunta yung nagpa-park si na Pat Gonzales, the late Pat Gonzales, na June Ikban, lahat, yung aming editor noon, naging si Santa Ana after Recta left. Yun ang malaking frustration na paulit-ulit sinasabi ni the late Pat Gonzales sa amin pag-meeting after the strike. Kayo, ang Tempo was my brainchild. I hired you. Tapos, ganyan kayo lahat. Sumama kagad kayo sa strike. And this Jennifer Santillan and Lourdes Estella were even dancing in front of my car, waving their placards. Galit lagi yung sinasabi yun. Eh, hindi niya alam, mga disco freaks kami nun. Disco era. Anyway, since then, medyo napag-initan na kami. Tempo became more of a... that was the start of the reformatting of Tempo from a political tabloid to a police tabloid. So, yung mga favorite nilang respondents, mga police beat reporters, lahat ng story yun ang nasa front page. Kaming mga nag-cover ng political beat, ng government beats. Ang stories namin were relegated in the inside pages or not used at all. So, ang sama-sama ng loob namin, mga young journalist, no? Kala namin, eto na yung press freedom na namin, nahanap. Biglang wala, nasuppress na naman. Naglabas kami ng Lampun issue. Actually, brainchild naman yan ni the late Rafi Hapa. Kung nandito ang editorial news desk, nagsasara sila ng Tempo, kami nasa other side of the room, meron naman kaming Lampun issue, Tampo. We called it Tampo. At yun, openly ginagawa. Tapos ipapastill namin dun sa far end, the opposite end of the room. So, after our deadline, nagsasara sila. Kami, tawa kami ng tawa. Sige, dagdagan pa natin. Ganyan. And then, after we leave, nakikita namin, lalapitan ng mga taga-desk, sinaga Santa Ana. Binabasa yung mga sinulat namin. So, that was, yung outlet namin. Anyway, si Chit, I owe it to Chit that me and my husband now own our property in Parañaque. Kasi, nung time na yon, sabi ni Chit, Jenny, tulungan mo naman ako maghanap ng bahay. Kasi, gusto na namin ni Roland, bumukod eh. They used to live with in the house owned by your parents, no? Roland's parents in Marikina. So sabi niya, that was the time na gusto na nilang bumili ng property. O sige, sabi ko, tingnan natin dito sa classified ads ng bulletin. Tapos nakakita ko, ikaw in charge sa south, sabi niya sa akin, doon ka mag-scout ha, ako sa north, sabi niya. And then I found this property. So, sinabi ko kay Chit, eto okay na to. Ay, si Roland decided na mas type na niyang tumira sa north, kaya wag na lang, sabi niya. So anyway, yun yung isang ni Chit sa akin. Nakatira ako sa dapat na magiging bahay niyo. Naging bahay niyo. So, aside from yung mga usual anti-Marcos rallies that we used to cover during our Tempo days, meron isang unforgettable rally na talagang memorable sa amin. Roland, okay lang to. We were covering Lakbayan. Yung march yun rally from the south coming to Manila. The marchers were stopped at the Laguna Junction, yung before entering Manila. ayaw payagan ng mga pulis. So, that was lunch, nandun pa ba lunch time, yung mga rallies. After an hour, walang nangyayari, tagal-tagal. The negotiations went on and on and on. Pawis na kami, tsaka gutom na kami. So, sabi, lunch muna tayo. Hindi pa rin umaandar, wala pa rin. Sabi namin, total, mga dispersal naman, usually, bandang hapon. Ika, mag-swimming muna tayo. Init eh. Tapos sabi nila, oo, sige. Pero puro girls lang ha. Puro girls lang kami. Tapos sabi niya, anong susutin natin? Wala tayong dalang swimsuit. Sabi ni Chit, mag-skinny dipping na lang tayo. Tapos, we pretended we were shocked. Imagine, si Chit, very prim and proper, siya nagsabing mag-skinny dipping kami. Well, obviously, it was just a joke. But anyway, we ended up buying, hindi naman kami skinny dipping, Roland. At saka broad daylight. Tsaka puro girls. So anyway, we ended up buying t-shirt and pair of shorts dun sa market and public market nearby. And then, tamang-tama, after an hour, natapos na kayo mag-swimming, join the rally. Yes, hindi pa rin sila nakakalis doon. Fresh na fresh kami. Pero pagdating sa office, kunyari, pagod na pagod kaming mag-cover na nagmamatcha pa kami. Well, anyway, sa tempo, after a while, parang hindi na rin, kahit even though we found solace in the company of our friends, kami-kaming mga na-oppress doon ng editors, very consoling na after at the day's end, we had each other to talk to. Si Chit, talagang very comforting lagi. Well, hindi mo makikita niya nung, mag-upload na lang, sama tayo sa strike. Hindi siya ganun eh, she's not that type. Very calm lagi and composed. So, very comforting si Chit at that time. Kaya, na-miss ko siya when she decided to move on to Malaya later on. And after our tempo days, 1 decade ata kami hindi nagkita until after Pinoy Times closed shop. I was already at Mirror with Monica when Pinoy Times closed shop. So I asked Chit, Chit, wala kaming opening pero baka gusto mo ng project for Mirror. You covered the health, we had a weekly health forum. So, event, it's an event tie-up with the Philippine College of Physicians. So, pumayag siya. So, yun, reunite na naman, reunion na naman kami ni Chit. And after several decades after a decade pala yun, ko rin nakita uli si Roland. Dati very slim si Roland at si Chit. After 1 decade of Roland eating Chit's food, si Chit loves to cook for Roland eh. Every time I call them up, nagluluto yan si Chit. Jenny, mamaya ka na tumawag, nagluluto pa ako. Kaya, very healthy si Roland. Mas healthier, chubbier and healthier. Pareho sila. They love to eat together. After her short stint at Mirror as one of our contributors, she joined PJR na. Sabi kong ganyan, sayang, I would have wanted a longer work relationship with Chief. But it's good that after 4 or 5 years, we got a chance to get together again. We put up Vera files. Kaya si Chit, she's not just a media colleague to me. She's a very dear friend. Thank you.
Salamat, Jenny. Tinatawagan natin si Roland to give a short reply.
salamat sa hinahandang programang ito kay Chit, no? Lalo na galing ito sa kanyang mga kasama sa matagal na panahon sa mass media, no? And talking about media, actually una kaming nagkakilala ni Chit through the media. This was the campus media. No? Noong 1975-76, nung naging editor si Dito Sarmiento ng Philippine Collegian. And this was about only a year after the Philippine Collegian was revived under martial law. Dito Sarmiento appointed Fides Lim to be his managing editor, tapos ako yung associate editor. And Chit then, who was 2 years behind us, applied as a news staff, no, sa news section namin. At so doon kami unang nagkatagpo. Pero I want to disappoint you, walang nangyari doon. Amen. No? Nagkatagpo lang yung pero walang ano, no? Kasi perhaps it was because we were too tense about the situation, kasi nung nilalabas namin noon ng Philippine Collegian, kasagsagan ng martial law ito, we were not sure if by the next week, no, makakalabas pa o kami malaya pa, no? Kasi the Philippine Collegian was then possibly the only free newspaper in the Philippines under martial law. In fact, ito, I'll tell you a confession. Nung time na yon, ang Philippine Collegian was the only campus paper for the entire UP. No? Wala pa nung mga, hindi kagaya ngayon, may autonomous units. Yung Philippine Collegian ngayon para sa Diliman lang. So dati, yung Collegian para sa buong UP. We had at that time a circulation of, at least based sa budget namin, 16,000 per issue. No, yun ang for the coming from the budget. Now, every issue namin, pag nilabas namin yung 16,000, only 8,000 were circulated in the UP campuses, kahit na nagbabayad ang bawat estudyante ng publication fee, no? Kulang yung dinidistribute namin. Bakit? The other 8,000, and this we did secretly, dinidistribute namin sa labas ng UP. Because there was no other newspaper that was telling the truth, no? In fact, kaya napikon si Minister Enrile sa Collegian dahil nilabas ng Collegian yung Latondenya strike, no? And the Collegian then was being passed on, no, from one, siguro bawat issue ng Collegian, lalo na yung nasa labas ng campus, we could estimate that it was being read probably between 20 to 100 people per copy, no? Kasi hungry yung mga tao sa balita, no? So siguro dahil sa tension na yon, at in fact nung time ni Dito Sarmiento, nung kasi nabanggit ko dito sa 75-76, nung January of 1976, dahil sa kapikunan ni Enrile, no, after the Latondenya strike, ni-raid yung office ng Collegian, no, ng military, at inaresto yung mga editors, no, o karamihan. Ako ay managed to escape, no, kasi inaaresto. Pero of course, the day after the raids and arrests, at pati si Dito Sarmiento, hinuli nila. No, they incarcerated him, pero this complicated his asthma, which eventually led to his death after he was released, no, after 3 months. No, and I think ito rin ang dahilan na itong event na ito ang nag-radicalize kay yung tatay niya, si Abraham Sarmiento. Kasi yung tatay niya na naging president, na at that time, presidente ng UP Alumni Association, nung una pro-Marcos. No? Pro-Marcos nung una. Alam ko yan dahil nung nagmi-meeting kami sa Collegian staff sa bahay nila sa New Manila, kuminsan nag-a-argue sila ni Dito. Kasi yung tatay niya, minsan winawarning kayo, pahuhuli ko kayo. Kasi ginagawa, alam niya, subversive. Yung for him, you were involved in some subversive activity. But the death of Dito, at siguro in a way na humanga din yung tatay niya, nakita niya dito was principled, no? Yung talagang pinaglalaban niya yung kung anong tama, lalo yan sa resistance sa martial law, and ikinamatay niya ito, no? Yun na-radicalize si later naging Justice Sarmiento. Now, itong tension-filled days namin noon, siguro dahil dito hindi namin pinapansin yung mga personal masyado relationships among ourselves, no. Nandun si Chit, trabaho, gano'n. But so our meeting each other began with the media, campus media nga lang. Tapos a semester later, by coincidence, naging magkaklase kami ni Chit sa isang elective na kinuha namin. The only subject, in fact, taught by then Dean Dodong Nemenso, kasi naging Dean si Dodong Nemenso ng CAS. But he was teaching just one course, yung Modern Political Theories. At si Chit naging kaklase ko, no? At katabi ko pa, no? Yun, katabi ko. Kaya hindi ko na pinakawalan. Katabi ko eh. Tapos madalas kaming nag-uusap, tapos pinagpapatuloy namin ang pag-uusap natin outside the classroom. No? So, yung yun, yung naging pakikipag-ugnayang yun, tapos magkasama pa kami sa Collegian, no? We began to know each other, and yun, tuloy-tuloy na. No? So that's how we came to know each other much better, no? After our first meeting at the Philippine Collegian days, no? About Chit's, how do I look at Chit's involvement with journalism and with her profession? Well, ako hanga ako kay Chit lalo na nung naging professional journalist siya after graduation, because not only was she a good writer, but she was really a very good editor, no? I learned that she was a very good editor dahil nung time na nag-aral ako sa States, graduate studies, and wrote her letters, minsan kino-correct niya yung grammar ng aking letters as if she was correcting or editing a draft, no? Okay lang sa akin, okay lang, walang problema yun. And tama naman eh, kasi sometimes I write long sentences, no? Tapos may tendency paulit-ulit yung mga ilang phrases, pero inano niya yun, no? Inaano niya yun. And that's why yesterday, during my response also to the talks given by her former classmates, sabi ko si Chit naging parang no? Hindi lang naging partner ko sa buhay, hindi dahil nag-a-agree kami palagi, no? But she was my best critic, no? And I respected that. Kasi may way siyang sabihin na mali or ano yung ginagawa mo or there's something wrong. But at the same time, without being insulted, no? Yung with grace, yung ano niya, yung kanyang ano, and as some of you have also observed, no, in your dealings with her, that, well, and I agree dahil ako nakita ko ito up close, no. Sa tingin, no, akala mo very gentle siya, soft spoken, but she is as solid as a rock, no, when it comes to principles, no. In fact, in a way, parang morality police ako, siya sa akin. No? Kasi kung minsan, you know, I become a bit revisionist, no? And she puts me back to line, no? But in a very gentle way. No? And it came to a point, in fact, that sa maraming mga sinulat ko, whether this was a book or later essays or articles, sometimes I am not too confident for it to come out in public until Chit has looked at it. At least, bigo tingnan mo lang, no, and tell me what you really think, no, kahit na negatibo, no, ganon. So parang naging sounding board ko siya, no, and she made me realize how important it is to go mainstream. Kasi sabi niya, kung masyado kang sa style mo radical, ano, no, ang mako-convince mo lang diyan, kumbinsido na, no. Kailangan maging ano ka, mainstream ka, you ano. And siguro yung kanyang pagiging journalist, no, for mainstream newspapers, so, also gave her that lesson which she wanted to share with me, no. So maybe I have not yet come to terms with the fact that she has left us, kasi at this point, the other day lang nangyari itong unfortunate accident na ito. Actually, I was supposed to pick her up that evening after her gimmick with her former classmates, kasi meron silang itong barkada niya na former batchmates niya sa high school sa St. Joseph College. Madalas silang nagkikita, no? Iba-ibang lugar, pero gusto ni Chit, minsan magkikita sila sa isang lugar na merong razons halo-halo. Paborito niya yun eh, no? Hindi ako nag-a-advertise na tunay yun, no? Razons halo-halo, no? Pero kasi minsan nagdidebate kami, ako para sa akin, yung best halo-halo is Little Quiapo. No? Old ano ko eh, old school, old fashioned, no? Anyway, malaking bagay sa akin kasi na sinasabi sa akin how Chit has touched your lives, no? Yung mga kasama niya sa industriya, yung mga dati niyang mga estudyante na nasa industriya ngayon, at yung mga nakasama niya nung siya ay nag-edit ng ilang mga pahayagan sa ating bansa, lalo na sa mga makasaysayang mga panahon ng ating bansa. And yeah, I will really miss Chit. And actually, Chit had a kind of futuristic perspective, no? Yung pag nag-uusap kami, parang he wants to plan ahead, no? In fact, talking about death, no? pinag-usapan namin yan. Madalas minsan discuss namin na kung how we will what we will do after we die, no? How will we try to communicate with each other and know that it's really her or it's really me. So ito, between us lang ito, between sa amin, pero hindi ko sasabihin. Meron kaming secret passwords na only we know. Na kung meron siyang sign, meron siyang sign sa akin dahil siya ay nauna, alam ko na siya yun. No? We devised. We also agreed that, and I'm sorry, I violated this at this. Kasi gusto niya, ayaw niya ng wake na ganito na naka-display siya. Gusto ni Chit, after she passes away, cremation kagad. Tapos yung urn niya, yun ang naka-display dyan, together with her best pictures that we can choose. No? Tapos the flowers, and we can even have karaoke or videoke, no? Para masaya dito sa anong ito, okay sa kanya yon. Basta ayaw niya yung naka-display, no? Sa lalo na ilang araw na wake. But I could not do anything. I was planning to do that, no? That's why kahapon sana ang cremation, yun nga lumabas sa dyaryo kasi kahapon, but when we talk to the management of this institution, sabi sa amin hindi pwede dahil kailangan ng permit muna sa City Hall. Sabado, Monday pa magbubukas yung mga opisina doon para i-process yung permit. So Tuesday ngayon ang earliest. The other thing that I violated, that she asked me to promise, no? Yung yan, yung pag-view niyang ganyan, no? Nakabukas, no? Ayaw niya yan. So, ang kaso, I realized that when I first saw her after she passed away at the morgue, hindi na damage yung kanyang harap, no, yung mukha, no? Naka-make up lang siya ngayon, no? Walang damage o walang retoke ginawa, no? So maganda siya, di ba? Maganda, no? So hindi dapat ikahiya yun, no? Sa public, and many of her relatives and friends, when they come here, yung iba malalayo pa pinanggalingan, gustong makita siya, di ba? Gustong makita, no? Hindi yung nakatakip, hindi nakasarado. So, I was telling her that sorry again, no? Kasi violate ko na naman yung ano. But talking about foresight, yun nga, pinag-usapan namin yung ganun, mga ano. Tapos nung December nga during our visit to Intramuros, we also visited San Agustin Church, no? Na may museum, di ba? May religious museum, and na-discover namin may 2 chambers doon na ginawang columbarium, no? Ang ganda-ganda at nakadugtong doon sa ano. At sabi ni Chit sa akin, gusto ko dito mapunta yung columbarium natin, no? Doon sa historic church na San Agustin, which, if I'm not mistaken, more than 400 years old na, and has survived many earthquakes and other natural disasters. So, ganyan si Chit, and well, I think I will really miss her, and I think also that nagpaparamdam na yata sa akin, no? O sa atin, kasi kaninang maaga akong pumunta sa amin para may kukunin, kasama ko yung brother ko, at I talked to our neighbor, no, immediate neighbor, kasi nakatira kami sa townhouse dito sa Tandang Sora. Sabi no, akala nung neighbor namin may tao sa bahay namin, no? Kasi past few days nandito ako no, after this happened. Ginawa ko lang, binuksan ko kasi yung bintana sa taas para akala nila may tao, no? Kasi nakabukas yung bintana, pag nakasarado yun, alam mong wala. Kagabi daw, no? Nung isang kagabi, yung kapitbahay namin, yung matandang yon, may narinig siya sa amin, no? Sa likod, no? Na naghuhugas ng plato. No? Naghuhugas ng plato ng gabi. No? Eh sumilip siya dun sa harapan, kasi nakita bukas ang bintana. So in-assume niya, actually, ayaw kong takutin yung matandang kapitbahay na wala kami doon. Kasi baka matatakot siya Hindi ko na tinakot, pero sabi ko, baka ano ito, may nagpaparamdam na nga, no? Kasi, anyway, siguro dahil nga it happened so quickly, no? And I think even Chit was taken by surprise, like we all have been taken into surprise. But it's sometimes difficult to understand why these things happen, why very talented, dedicated, and good people have to go ahead of us, no? Or have to leave this earth, no? Ahead of us, while people who deserve to go ahead of us, no? Are still here with us, even after so many decades. No? So, ganun na lang siguro, at ako'y nagpapasalamat sa lahat sa inyo, lalo na yung marami sa inyo, yung iba galing pa sa Pampanga, mga kamag-anak namin na dumalo dito at para bisitahin, no, sa bigyan ng huling bisita si Chit, no. So maraming salamat po at sa inyong simpatsya, no, at nakakaano sa akin yun nakakatulong din, although I know that I'm not yet it has not really sunk into me, no, itong pangyayaring ito, kasi but I know that it Chit's inspiration and yung spirit niya na pinakita nung kasama natin siya, naririyan, and I think Chit will live with us, will continue to live with us if we not only admire these qualities but try to match and practice the qualities that she has shown by her example. Maraming salamat po. At magandang gabi.
Salamat, Roland. Baka naman kinukuha niya yung password dun sa vault, no, Roland? Kaya siya bumalik kahapon. May breaking news po tayo. Mayroong multi-sectoral tribute